Okay, Math 2, quiz review. Find the vertex for number 1. Now, are they asking us to write it in vertex form and then find the vertex, or just find the vertex?
Just find the vertex.
Okay, when they ask you to just find the vertex and you didn't say first write it in descriptive form, you are allowed to use this shortcut, negative b over 2a. Now, some kids will say, well, I'd rather complete the square, which you could do here, complete the square, vertex form, and then find your vertex. I'm going to do it this way first. Negative blank over 2 blank. What is A? What is B? A is
X. 1.
There's a number here. What is it?
1.
1. And what is B?
8.
Now, we don't need C because we don't need it for this particular problem, but what is the C?
It's
5. All right, so go ahead and plug in your blanks there. Opposite of what number over 2 times what number? Jason, can you give me the numbers, please? What goes at the top? 8? Which one? It's right here. 8 over 2 times 1. So what does that give me? Negative 8 over
2.
2. Thank you. And what does that reduce to?
Negative 4, right?
X equals negative 4. Does anybody remember what I do with that X value after I found it? Yes.
Plug it in.
Plug it in is correct. So you have h of x equals blank squared plus 8 blank plus 5. And what am I plugging into all those blanks? The negative 4. Go ahead and do that now. And everybody should have a calculator. I did ask you guys to pick them up in the beginning. If you didn't get one, please grab one if you don't have one.
Use my brain.
Just in case. All right, you guys should all be working it out. Let's go, let's go.
I need it.
How do you do this? Is that what you said? Okay. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Plus 32 or minus? Minus plus 5. I'm going to change the h to a y. 16 minus 32 is negative what? And negative 16 plus 5, what's our final answer for y? Negative 11. All right, but I need to write it as a vertex. What is my vertex if x is negative 4 and y is negative 11? Negative 4 comma negative 11. Yes? Questions?
No.
Okay. I'm going to show it with complete the square just because some people, how many of you feel like you like complete the square better anyway because we've been doing it much longer? Okay, so I'm going to show you that method, then we're going to talk about when to use what. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the same problem over here. H of x equals x squared plus 8x plus 5. If I'm writing it, if I'm trying to find the vertex and I'm using this method, what do I do? What do I move over? I subtract the 5, and by this method I meant complete the square. Okay, writing this down with me. Okay, so what is this method called again? Complete the square. Okay, what number goes in each blank? 16 and 16. If you do not like the h of x, can you change it to y?
Yeah.
You guys want me to change it to y or leave it?
Leave it.
I heard it change it.
Change.
Okay, so y, what's negative 5 plus 16? Positive what?
11.
Equals, can anybody tell me what that factors to? Is it
Plus 4.
plus 4? Is it plus 4 plus 4, which is x plus 4 quantity squared?
Yep.
And the last thing to get into vertex form is move over this 11. When I move it over, does it become plus or minus on the other side?
Minus.
Now, is this your final answer?
No.
No, we're using this to find the
Vertex.
vertex. What is the vertex?
Negative 4 positive.
Be careful. Opposite of the inside, outside stays the same.
Oh, negative 4, negative 11.
Is that the same answer we got the first time? Okay. Does anybody feel like they'd like the second way better? Because we've been doing it more.
This one? Second one?
Yeah.
I like that one better.
Does anybody like the negative b over 2a way better? It's just a a matter of preference. Now, I do want to emphasize this. What if I gave you something like this, number 2? Find the vertex. F of x equals 2x squared minus 12x plus 8.
Oh, well, that's not me.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you this. I am going to do complete the square first, only because I ended with that over here. So I want to compare those since I just did complete the square. You guys okay with that? So I'm going to complete the square first. Now, what's the first thing I do? I move over the 8.
Oh,
Okay, I'm glad that came up. Is everything divisible by 2?
yes.
But we only do that when it equals what?
0.
0. Does it equal 0?
Oh,
No. So can I divide everything by 2?
No.
No. So what do we do with this 8?
move it over.
Okay, f of x. Do you guys want me to change that to a y?
Yeah.
Y minus 8. Actually, let me show the step first. Minus 8, minus 8. Y minus 8. Bless you. Equals minus 12x. This is typically where I would put the plus blank. Does anybody remember from what we've said in previous lessons why we can't complete the square right now the way it is? Halvin?
Because it's no factor rule, or wait, no, because you need it.
We can divide the whole thing by 2, but it is because of the 2, and I heard a few of you say that. Can we complete the square when the leading coefficient is anything other than 1? No. So are there extra steps involved? There are. We can still complete the square. Yes. He's not here today to make a copy, and I don't have an extra one. Sorry. Okay, so we factor out a 2. So y minus 8 stays y minus 8. Factor out a 2, not a GCF, just the 2. 2 times what is x squared? X squared, and I said that wrong. 2 times what is 2x squared, and it's x squared, right? Minus 2 times what is 12x?
6.
And, I'm sorry, I'm not going to close that yet. 6 what? 6x plus blank. And now I put the plus blank on the other side. Okay. Take it, cut in half and square it. Right here. Take this, cut in half and square it. What does it give you? 9. Now, it's 3 when you cut in half, guys. I need you listening. Bless you. Now, as tempting as it is to put the 9 here, do I put the 9 on the other side? Like here I did 16 and 16, but with that 2 outside, what do I do first? Distribute. What's 2 times 9? So it's 18 on the other side. Are there more steps on this complete the square than there was this one? Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Y, what does that become? Plus 10? Equals 2 quantity squared. A few of you guys messed this up on the last quiz. A lot of kids got that these two numbers should be the same, but they put plus and plus. Should this be plus plus or minus minus? Because of the minus 6, it should be minus minus. All right, what's the next step to get it to vertex form? What do I do with this 10?
Add to the inside.
Subtract it in this case. Y equals 2 quantity x minus 3 squared minus 10. Is it minus 10?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the vertex? Opposite same is 3, 3, negative 10. Okay. Of the two complete the square methods, which one was easier? The top one or the bottom one? Top one. So some kids would just automatically choose negative b over 2a both times, or they'll choose complete the square on something like this, but not on this one. So let's do negative b over 2a and see what happens. X equals negative b over 2a. Bless you. Negative blank over 2 blank. What is a? What is b?
2 is A.
2 is a and negative 12?
Yeah.
And c, we don't need it, but it is
8.
8. Now, do I have to worry about dividing by a 2 when I'm doing negative b over 2a? Don't have to worry about it. Just plug it in. What goes at the top? What goes at the top, guys? Thank you. Negative 12 over 2 times 2. So opposite of negative 12 is what? 12 over 4. What does x equal?
3.
Okay, and we plug it in, just like we did up here on this one. Okay, so f of x equals 2 blank squared minus 12 blank plus 8. And what are we plugging in for the x's?
3. Yeah.
All right, write it down, work it out. You guys do it in your head, on your calculators, on your paper. Plug it in.
Yep, same answer.
Is it the same?
Yep.
Oh, I forgot to check that. If the x values at least come out the same.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, keep going. Is that 18 minus 36 plus 8? Does that come out to be negative 10? Yes, that's negative 18 plus 8y equals negative 10. Same answer? 3, negative 10. Okay, with this particular problem, for number 2, did anybody feel like the negative b over 2a was easier? Did anybody still like to complete the square? Some of you do? Okay, so really, when you choose your method, does it depend on the problem? Yes. Okay, why do I have choices here? Because it's asking just for the vertex. If it's asking just for the vertex, I could do complete the square or the negative b over 2a and plug in. Got it? Okay, number 3. A student asked, are we ever forced to use one way or the other? Well, if you're given something like this, given the function f of x equals x squared minus 10x minus 8. Write that down. Put your phones away, please. Away. Given f of x equals x squared minus 10x minus 8. Okay, well, I haven't asked you what to find yet. Given this, I want you to rewrite it in vertex form. Rewrite in vertex form. And then it's going to say vertex form is this. F of x equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. Yes. How many of you guys would have known that this was vertex form without me giving it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Now, it's given to you on the test and the quiz, but kids freak out because of that A. I don't know what A is. Is it possible that A could be 1?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What's different here from the other page? This doesn't say find the vertex. It says rewrite it in what? Vertex form. That's this. So I'm not going to use negative b over 2a on this one. I'm going to, what was the other method we used? Complete the square.
Is that plus k?
That's a plus k. All right, so when it says rewrite in vertex form, should you remember to complete the square? When it says just find the vertex, you have choices. Got it? Is that a yes? Okay, coming back to this side. You guys said change it to y equals x squared minus 10x minus 8. If I'm rewriting it in vertex form, what do I do? At the 8. And do I have to take out a number, or can I just go straight to my plus blanks? There's no number to factor out, right? It's a 1. That's good. Cut in half and square it. What do we get? 25. And what does that give me? Y plus 33, because they're both positive. That's okay. X plus 5 or minus 5? And then what do I do next? Move over the 33. And is this vertex form? Do I have to go any further? Did it say find the vertex or just vertex form? Then that there is your answer. Do you see the difference between this one and the first two we did on the previous page? Okay. Now, I really want to get started on the quiz because it will take a while. So I'm just going to, these last ones I'm not going to solve. I just want to go over what method. Solve using any method. We have a few. Okay, number 1. If I give you something like this, x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0.
Oh,
and you're solving, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, in the solving section, do not use negative b over 2a and plug in. I had a lot of kids do that. Negative b over 2a, you do not use that when you're solving equations. Okay, so what do I do here? First thing I should try to do is factor. You don't have to, but it's easier. Does it factor? Is there anything that multiplies to positive 5 that would add up to positive 6? X plus 5, x plus 1. So factor is what I would suggest. Now, if you wanted to, could you complete the square because that's even?
Yeah.
And if you really wanted to, could you do quadratic formula?
Yes.
Yes. But what's going to be easier in this particular problem? Factor. Okay, I'm not going to, what would your answers be? Negative 5 and? Negative 1. Okay, what about this one? X squared plus 8x plus 2 equals 0. Factors of 2 are 1 and 2. Does that factor to give me a positive 8 in the middle?
No.
Okay, so if I wanted to, could I factor on this one?
Nope.
No. But that's even and that's 1, so could I complete the square?
Yes.
And if you don't want that, could you use quadratic formula? Okay. Number 3. 2x squared plus 4x plus 5. Okay, so you try to factor. I'm going to tell you right now it doesn't factor. But you're taking the quiz and you try. No, it doesn't factor. Could you complete the square if you wanted to?
Yes.
Yes, you can move it over. Oh, I forgot to put my equal 0. But it's going to be more work like this one here. And if you don't want to do that extra work, then you would what? Quadratic formula. But yes, you can complete the square with extra work. Okay, what about something like this? 3x squared minus 7x equals 0. Okay, do I have 2 x's? Yes. So I'm either going to factor if I can, or I could use the quadratic formula. I would not complete the square here. You can, but it's going to be really ugly. Quadratic formula or what? Factor. Can anybody tell me what kind of factoring it is?
GCF.
Good job. Please don't forget that. I went over it with my last class and I still had a few kids stuck on that one. GCF, and it's not 3 or 7. What is my GCF? This one I'm going to work out with you. 3x minus 7. Do you agree that's what's left after you GCF the x?
Yes.
Set them both equal to 0. Is that one already done?
Yeah.
This one, is it going to be a whole number or a fraction? Fraction, because you're going to add the 7 and then divide the 3. So you're going to get x equals 0 or 7 over 3. Do I ever put parentheses around my answers?
No.
No. Okay, what if I gave you something like this? Oh, this is another good one. This one's been a while. This is also on the quiz as well as the test. I'll take suggestions from anyone. Okay, I will square root it eventually. Yes, Halvid?
What does QTS stand for?
QTS, that should be CTS. Thank you, Halvid. Okay, hold on.
I have another question.
Okay, so CTS, complete the square. What's your other question?
Can we go over like how you set up quadratic formula again?
We're not going to have time, but I'm leaving the skeleton of it up on the board over there. Can you guys all see it? Okay, yes.
Square root.
Okay, square root it.
Yeah, you just set the x equal to 25.
Okay, so move over the 25.
And then you square root it.
Guys, you do need to know that. Did we do this last unit?
No, I guess.
But did we do this stuff last unit?
Yeah, probably.
Yes. Square root, and is it 5 or plus or minus 5?
Plus minus 5.
Everybody hear that? Jason? Yes? Really quick. If you wanted to factor, do you guys remember how to factor difference of two squares? Plus 5 and?
Plus 5.
No. Minus 5. Do you guys remember the difference of two squares? And then you set them equal to 0. You get negative 5 and positive 5. Is that the same answer? Yes or no? Okay. Questions? Okay.
Is this a lot for rejects? I forgot.
Yes. Okay.